Okay, I think that I'm audible, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, I made you guys wait a little. I do that to my teachers all the time, so a bit used to it. And I was just telling Ankur, was sitting beside me, that I'm not at all used to sitting on the first bench of anything, ever. I'm usually somewhere in the middle, not even at the last, because the teachers come and stand over there. We know that, you know that. We're always in the middle. You can talk, use your cell phone during class, everything. Do not tell them I gave you the step. Okay. So, as you can see, I'm from an organization called The Climber. My name is Samir Ramesh, and I would like to thank the school for inviting me here today. Thank you very much. So, yeah. So, there's an obsession with education today, isn't there? Obviously, your neighbor's going to be seeing if his son's got better marks than you, or if his daughter has got better marks than you, and your dad and mom are going to probably doing the same thing. So there's an obsession with education. And not just like that, like ma'am over here, an obsession to educate the people in poverty, an obsession to educate people. And if you've seen TED Talks, and I'm sure most of you have, you know, you must have heard of Sir Ken Robinson, who gave a great talk on creativity. You must have heard of Sugata Mitra's experiment on education, a hole in the wall. So there's an obsession with education in today's world, and even I'm obsessed with it, not as much as, you know, participating in by sitting in a classroom, but a different form of it. Here's a fun statistic. 100% of students in India have said the education system here sucks. You've said it, don't deny it, I've said it, and now it's on record, so there's no taking it back. Well, and you saw asterisks, but that's because 42.6% of all statistics are made up anyway. So just take it with a pinch of salt. So, as I said, we've said that the education system here is terrible. And yes, I do agree, but why? Why do we complain about it so much? Well, if you look at the main reason, the roots of it, it's because at the age of 15, 16, and 17, we're supposed to make a choice, a career choice, choose a stream that will decide how the remaining 45 years of our work life goes. I mean, think about it, we're teenagers. We shouldn't be given so much of responsibility, for God's sake. And this is where most of the problem lies. We simply do not know enough or aren't equipped with enough information to make such a choice, or to make such an important choice. And hence, we are influenced by society. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone over here, but we are influenced by people, by peers, by parents, by siblings, by our neighbors' sons and daughters. Bad memories. Anyway, so as you can see over here, like this is from the Economic Intelligence Unit report made by the British Council in January of last year. It says, if you can look at the numbers, you'll see that in Nepal, there's a high preference for education as a stream, whereas in Sri Lanka, there's a high preference for humanities, similar to India. And you can see that there's a staggering difference between the first choice and the remaining choices in numbers of people forced to enter the stream. This, in the real world, as we experience it, translates to societal pressure on students to pick certain streams. And we all are facing it at some point or the other. We might have wild ambitions, we might have wild dreams, but we're not allowed to follow it. And instead we are forced by society to pick something that we may not be interested in or very good at. So what's the consequence of that? What's the result of it? Well, I'll take my own example. Your grades are going to suffer. Pretty much. You're going to have poor grades because you're not interested in what you're doing. You cannot put your heart and soul into it, and you will not work hard for it. That would mean you're doing a really bad job at it. And after you graduate college, after spending so much of money on your education, you remain unemployable. You're unemployed at the end of it. So what's the use of doing it in the first place then? So, let's take another example, not just me. Let's take poor Papu over here. Okay? As you can see, he's confused. He is under this web of influences from the media, from schools, from career counselors, society, peers, siblings, and everyone all trying to tell him what to do. But how many ask Papu what he wants to do? I let Annapurni take over from here and tell you the story of Papu.
So, okay, Papu is a very inspirational character because he is the inspiration for climber. I can tell you that much. So, who is Papu? Okay, Papu is any 16, 17-year-old just like you sitting here, and just that he doesn't have fancy names like you people. He's called Papu. And since the age of 5, he's asked a very simple question. What do you want to do when you grow up? Okay? I mean, क्या करना है बड़े होके? ठीक है? Initially when he says, you know, I want to be a vegetable vendor, or when he says that I want to, you know, be driver bhaiya, he's, you know, given a chocolate for his honesty or, you know, the gutsy answer. But as and when he grows up, these questions keep increasing. People keep asking him, what do you want to do? बड़े होके क्या करना है? कुछ सोचा है आगे के बारे में? What have you thought about your future? They keep asking that question, okay? And he slowly and steadily figures out. How many of you have wanted to do something because you really related to the character in a movie? It happened with me, okay? I saw Laksh and I wanted to be a journalist, okay? I saw Talwar recently and I wanted to be a police officer. It happens with me, okay? So at 10, he goes to his father and he says that I want to do Beyblade repairing. That is my career. Now that is what I want to focus on. And his father's like, okay, fine, you know, we'll talk about this later. I'm a little busy right now, okay? Then at 13, he says that he wants to be a CID officer, okay? He must have seen Daya breaking the wall in the Sony popular television show, and he would have been like, I want to be a CID officer. And he goes and says that to Sharma uncle, and he's like, yeah, that's not possible. Let's talk when you mature a bit, okay? At 17, he goes and he says very seriously to his mother that he wants to become a chef. Now that is what I want to do. I love food, I want to cook, and I want to become a chef. And she's just shoos him away. And she also says this very important thing, is that why don't you look at, you know, Somna auntie's kid, okay? He's an engineer, or he's a doctor, that is successful. Like, take inspiration from them and stop all these immature, wacky ideas. With how many of you has this happened? Okay? So, to Papu, I gave a solution, and the same solution is what I'm going to give you. All of you have your notepads, right? So, please be cooperative with me and let's do a small activity. Just take out one page from your notepad. Quickly. Done? Okay. So now there's a small activity. All of you have to close your eyes and I'll be saying a few instructions. All you have to do is follow it while closing your eyes. Is it doable? Yeah? Okay. So please close your eyes and I'll say the instructions and just follow it. Okay? Can I see all eyes closed? Last? Yeah. So fold the paper into half. Fold the paper into half and tear two tiny holes. Okay? Now fold the paper diagonally and make 3 holes. Done? You can say done once you're done. Three holes done? Okay. Now last, cut out any edge. Whichever is your favorite edge, just cut it out. Done? You guys have to be allowed. Done? Perfect. So now, Open your sheet of paper, open your eyes, and put your papers up. Yeah, up in the air. And just look around, okay? Everyone, open sheet of papers up, okay? Now, I can bet you that no two people in this room will have the same pattern. If you have a same pattern, meet me after this, I have a special prize for you. No two people in this room will have the same pattern. It's all okay. Yeah. So this activity, as I fondly call it, is called Be Unique. Okay? Unique is spelled in a different way here. Is because each and every one of you is different. You had the same medium of instruction. You had my annoying voice and the background, and you all did what I told you to do. Yet, each and every one of you had a different pattern. So next time, Sharma auntie or Gupta uncle tell you to be like someone else, show them that piece of paper and tell them this is what I am. This is how unique I am. Okay? So what we realized, so we've conducted this activity in about 34 schools across India, and we've engaged about 10,000 students in this process. And what we've realized is there are two problems that students in this age group face. Okay? One is that they don't know what their passion is. They like doing everything. Okay? They're crazy people like me. Okay? And two, even if they know what they're good at, they don't know what is the next step. So I would like to introduce Zishan, who will tell you about the next step. Thank you.
Hey, hi everyone. Cool. So you heard her talking about the Beyblade guy? Yeah? Who loves Beyblade? It's me, by the way. Okay, I absolutely loved Beyblades. In fact, the first time I actually dwelled into physics was when I opened a Beyblade launcher. There's a rack and a pinion gear in. How many of you know that? You guys know about gears, and right? There's a different kind of gear called rack and pinion. I got to know it when I was discovering what I really love to do. So that's how I got into physics, and I was kind of interested in physics and whatever. So Anupuni over here, she talked about two problems that we face. We as teenagers. How many of you have faced this problem that you don't know what you want to do? Brilliant. Like seriously, brilliant. What about how many of you know what you want to do but are not confident enough that that career can be stable or that career can pay me as much as probably engineering can? It doesn't, by the way, it doesn't. But still, how many? I'll give you a fun fact about engineering over here. I'm from a private engineering college. Cool. People think that engineering pays. Trust me, all it pays is 20 grand a month after you pass out. Do you want that job? That's 20,000 bucks. That's all that you get paid if you're coming from a private college. And tell me, how is engineering in any way a stable job? It's a very misconception that's prevalent in the society, and many of the parents also don't know it. How many of you guys over here knew about it? No, right? I'll tell you, like people boast about 100% placements. How does that happen? TCS, Wipro, Infosys come down and recruit even mechanical engineers. So that's the case of engineering, and that's the case of how conventional careers are actually like. So coming back to the two problems that we have faced, and even you guys are facing. So the climber actually started in a hostel room discussion, as a hostel room discussion. How many of you dream about being in a hostel, like all the fun things that happen in the hostel? Yeah, all of you over here. Brilliant. It's actually that fun. It's not just something that's shown in the movies, but it actually happens. Hostels are brilliant. Hostels are when you have deep conversations about various damn things you have absolutely no idea about. And out of such conversation was when the climber was born. So I remember 2 years ago, I was sitting in my hostel room. I had two of my friends over there, and we had a test the next day. How many of you find YouTube videos much more amusing and much more interesting before test day? All of us do. We check Facebook more when there's a test the next day than we do it when there's a normal day. Agreed? Like I check Facebook more when there was boards coming up than I used to check it in the entire duration of the year. So what is happening over here is that we want to, we know that we love something, but we don't really know what the next step is. We want to know like where that person is over there, who can tell me what to do next. Like what happens mostly is, let's say I'm interested in astronomy, but who's out there to tell me that, I can be an astronomer and this is the way to become an astronomer? Are you getting my point? This is that missing person. That person who's not able to tell you how to take your next step, that person who's not able to guide you through the system of 11th and 12th, and that person who's not able to, give you all the information required for convincing you as well as your parents, as well as your school teachers to let them follow what they love to do. The climber was born to solve that problem. What we wanted to do was we wanted to connect teenagers across India interested in a particular passion, in a particular field, get them mentored by young achievers who would go and tell them about what the entire system is about, how the entire field is about, clarify each and every wicked doubt that they have. So how many of you over here are interested in photography? I see a lot of people clicking photographs over here, right? Have you ever considered it being a career option? You do. What backup? Yeah, backup option. Why not in the front go? Okay, so you mean to say that there are a lot of photographers out there who have got their photographs published all around in international journals, and that's not recognition?
No, I mean to say that it actually doesn't, people don't know you well, that you're the one who's doing it. Like if you, for example, my first option is an architect, I want to be an architect. So if I be an architect, I'll be able to do much more than photography. There's no scope basically.
Okay, so this is the general kind of question that always comes in. There's more scope in engineering, there's more scope in architecture, there's more scope in law, there's more scope in medicals. The reason that conception comes in is because we do not know that there is scope already existing. There's no one telling you that there is. You don't know anyone who has already gone there and done that, been there, done that. How many of you have faced this problem of, like, for example, I wanted to be an astronomer and nobody over there was to tell me how to become an astronomer. And that is the reason why I ended up in mechanical engineering of all the places. Most of the people who are interested in astronomy are pushed into aeronautical and aerospace engineering. Agreed? Yeah? That's what happens. Why? Because there's no one to tell you that astronomy actually exists. You can be an astrophysicist. You can earn 10 times that what an engineer is going to earn, and you're going to love what you do. So that is what we are solving over here. What we want to do is each and every person over here, we believe that wants a mentor. How many of you require that one person who's going to comfort you? Who's going to help you out with a lot of problems that you're facing in 11th and 12th, who's going to help you decide what you want to do, and who's going to, push you towards it. That push, that driving factor is missing in most of the people's lives. That person is missing. And that is what the climber aims at doing. For example, there are people sitting in this room itself who have taken up our mentoring program. Quite a few, see one or two faces over here. There are people in the organizing committee who have taken up this mentoring program and they have benefited out of it. So in the past 6 or 8 months, we ran this mentoring program for teenagers in which we connected 15 to 20 teenagers in a particular passion, really interested in that passion, and got them a mentor. Now this mentor used to conduct a lot of activities on WhatsApp, very informal ways, right? WhatsApp groups. This mentor used to conduct a lot of sessions online, through Skype, through Google Hangouts. And what this mentor tried to do was give them an insight into the field before you choose it, which is very important. What people think a particular profession is not what the profession is actually like. And you discover it only when you go into college. That leads to loss of interest that all three of us faced over here. That leads to mediocrity, and that ultimately leads to unemployment. The report that fancy report that they guys pointed out. So what we try to do is we try to give you all the information available in a particular field. Then we try to give you assurance that okay, that field is stable. You can pursue it. These are the ways of pursuing it. And at the end of the day, we try to give you an experience of the field before you move into it. So this way you can decide what your careers are like. How many of you have seen the movie Dead Poets Society? Cool? You know what a role of a mentor is because of that. So the the program that we run is also called My Captain, which is actually inspired by Dead Poets Society. So I would like to end the entire talk by saying just one thing. We are a part of a cult called Do What You Love. Just Google it. Just it's a hashtag, Do What You Love. What it focuses upon is, you know, you will never be successful till the time you don't love what you do. You will always be mediocre. You'll never aim for awesome. Agreed? So that is what we actually do, and there's a quote that I want to end this entire thing with. The human race is actually full of passion. Who said ideas cannot change the world? They definitely can. And I hope that each and everyone over here ends up following their passion. Thank you.